I usually speak on the defense of focusing on optimism, the light, overcoming the darkness of life and situations. But today I'm here to speak on the defense of the shadow, of darkness. The creative, the artist, the individual who is engaged with observing avidly the world within and without must at some point confront his or her self that will not only be difficult to accept, but truly disturbing to even acknowledge. Just like the sublime in art can only be reached in the meeting point between horror and beauty, the true creative must face his or her most frightening parts of the self in order to reach his or her full creative potential. Famous psychologist Carl Jung would call this dark personal space the shadow self, which must be explored for one to be able to reach one's full potential in life, in every aspect of existence, especially related to being and becoming. And this is certainly even more important for those who are in the business of causing disruption through aggressive creativity and paradigm shifting ideas. The problem with not facing one's shadow is that you will instead be living through a persona, which according to Jung is a much more dishonest projection of the self. One which is based on who we would like to be or who we wish to be, representing all the different social masks that we wear among different groups of people and situations. The shadow self, however, is honest, as it comes from your own innate unconscious mind and is composed of your own repressed ideas, instincts, impulses, weaknesses, desires, perversions, and awkward fears. In other words, it comes from a place of personal vulnerability and truth. In the West, the shadow self has been associated with the darker side of nature and of the spiritual world. But it is now time that we challenge this notion, which is highly guided by Puritanism and hypocrisy. But why should we, makers and thinkers, ultimately integrate our shadow self into our daily lives? Well, because it is within this realm of one's shadow where freedom, contained within one's personal wilderness and chaos, can be found. And this is the very place where you can find your strongest source of creative energy. The question is, will you be courageous enough to leave the comforts of the light and venture into the unknown depths of your soul? Well, if you're a serious creative, you simply must.